stones flicked up and cracked the flipping windshield.
Wow, this is incredible.
It's literally getting just worse and worse.
After shipping our camper van from the UK to Canada last summer, we've spent the last 6 months driving through the United States, beginning a journey that will eventually take us down to Argentina. This is our last week in the States before we cross into Baja California in Mexico, and we never thought this leg of our trip would end quite like it did. Subscribe and join us for the ride. This is episode 20. We have got a busy day today. This is the week that we leave New Mexico. So sad, we've had such an incredible time in the state. It has been so good.
Look at the snow on the mountains. That was clear green yesterday, and now, wow, it looks beautiful, doesn't it?
We're just parked up outside Albuquerque. Just had a food shop yesterday, so it was just easy to park in Walmart. And this week is a big week. We have to get from New Mexico across to California to meet Ben's brother, which is like a 13-hour drive. And if all goes to plan, this time next week we should be getting ready to cross into Baja. So we've got to get everything sorted for that. So we have got a pretty busy week ahead of us. Stay. Right, before we leave New Mexico, there are a couple of things that we really want to see. And on our way out is this wildlife refuge where every winter there's 100,000 migrating birds stay here. It's meant to be such a spectacle and absolutely amazing to see. We've just come to this scenic outlook and it looks out over the whole 57,000 acres of this refuge. And there's a cargo train right down here.
This, guys, is what they use to transport alien spacecraft that's crash landed.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. On secret back railway roads. I've watched X-Files, I know what goes on.
We can't see many birds from up here actually, but there is a 14-mile scenic loop drive which takes you through the refuge. There's all little trails and boardwalks you can go on, which we're going to try and see if we can spot some cool birds.
Yeah, we really want to see these cool sand cranes.
Yes.
So supposedly that's what we're trying to find.
Yeah, they've got these really cool like red bits on their head. I've never seen anything like it before, so I'm excited. Let's see what we can find.
Ah, cool. So in honour of Martin Luther King Day, today is a fee-free day.
Oh, that's my
Perfect.
kind of day.
Excellent. So far we've just seen some mallards. I'm not being funny, but there's 100,000 birds here. Where are they? We haven't seen any.
We haven't seen it many.
We've seen ducks. We're supposed to see birds, but we've just spotted wild boar.
There's a whole family of them. Just seen some sand cranes. They're quite far away, but you can definitely see the little red bits on their head. There's not many of them.
Oh, I'm glad we didn't pay for this. Christ. Never work with animals or children. That's all they say, isn't it, in the entertainment industry?
They do.
I was expecting all these fields just to be filled with birds. And this field, massive, it's got one crow.
Well, that was a little bit better. That was a bit more bird action going on down this end of the park, but still not 100,000, was it?
Definitely wasn't.
Definitely not 100,000. Apparently sunset is the time to come here. Sunrise or sunset. At sunset is when you see, you know, those famous shots of like the thousands of birds just taking off into the sky because they're all going back to like their nightly roosts. So apparently that is the best time, because on a grey afternoon there isn't much going on here. Thoughts?
That was awful. I think that's one of the worst things we've done. It just obviously wasn't the right time. It's a miserable day, grey day. Like, it's not sunrise or sunset, which is like the prime time. So we thought we'd just hit it smack bang in the middle of the day. What do you expect? Amateurs, that's what we are, amateurs. Not even amateurs. What's lower than an amateur? An idiot.
Okay, so as I said, there are a couple of things that we want to see in New Mexico before we leave. That was one of them. The second one is so remote into the desert that we are in the town where you like can base yourself from to see this thing, and it is still 50 minutes away from the town. Can you guess what would be out in the most remote, quiet, dark parts of the desert?
I can see one of them.
Yeah.
And there's another one just to the right, a bit more.
Wow, this is incredible. Oh my god.
Government property, no trespassing.
Wow, wow, okay. We have come to see the Very Large Array. If you don't know what that is, it's one of the world's greatest radio telescopes. There are 28 antennas, 28 dishes on movable tracks. Each dish is 82 feet wide. They all point at the same thing, and they can create basically a telescope that can be up to 23 miles wide.
This is insane, isn't it?
If you're space geeks like us, this is freaking awesome. We're basically in this massive kind of basin surrounded by mountains, and just all around are these massive giant telescopes. There's 28 of them. The reason that it's here is that because they pick up radio waves from space, they are very sensitive to radio interference, so they really need to be as far away from kind of civilization as they can be. This huge kind of ring of mountains acts as a natural barrier against radio interference from nearby cities. And when I say nearby, like even cities from 200 miles away can interfere with these. They pick up cosmic radio waves. They are so sensitive. And they also have to be in the desert because the water molecules in the air can affect them as well. So they need to be somewhere incredibly remote, incredibly dry. And this New Mexico desert is perfect for it. We weren't joking when we said how vast and expansive the deserts are here. Wow.
And if you know the movie Contact with Jodie Foster, you'll recognise these as well.
So this is actually the railway track that moves the antennas. They can move from like a configuration of half a mile, like I said, up to 23 miles. If you were to have a single telescope that can see what these can see, it would have to be 23 miles wide. They've detected ice on Mercury, stuff right in the heart of the Milky Way, like the parameters of the universe. This is what they're looking at. And they're all pointing in the same direction. It's so cool to see. There's no one here as well.
I'm so glad we got to see these up close. It was one thing we really, really wanted to see before we left New Mexico.
It was, wasn't it? Wow, what an amazing feat of technology and science.
Yes, science!
Here's another leg of the Y. Actually literally drive through the array. That's so much more impressive than the birds. It actually turned up and there was something here. Yeah. That is so cool. Right, let's go and find a park up for the night, shall we?
It looks like it's going to be cold wherever we are.
Well, I'm hoping, because we're going to be getting close to the Arizona border, we should be coming down, theoretically, so hopefully it's not freezing like it is now.
Just happened. That is a big one as well.
That is a big stone, like, flicked up. Lorry came this way and it's obviously stones flicked up and cracked the flipping windshield.
What an absolute pain in the arse that is. That just went pa-dum. We're not getting down out of this snow, are we?
No.
Seen our first mule deer, 4 of them, just like running off through the snow. That was really cool.
It was very magical. Just like
it is very magical. Yeah.
Drop. Not worth the risk, if I'm perfectly honest. We've still got a mile down this road to go, so I think it'd be a bit ridiculous trying to do that.
I don't know if you can hear that. That was a pack of coyotes howling. We heard them the other night for the first time, but these sound a lot closer, like there's a lot more of them. So yeah, gotta be careful with these guys with the coyotes around. We pulled into this rest area just off the highway. We found it on iOverlander, and I thought when it said rest area, it might be one with like the buildings and stuff and toilets, and just, you often get them near state borders, like these little rest areas where you can park up. But this is literally just a giant pull-in. It does have bins and picnic tables. It's a little bit run down, but this is a very lonely road. So I'm not surprised that there's no big buildings and stuff here. Ready to settle in for the night, I think.
It's the only way to eat it. Okay, so right now, it's 2 degrees, real feel -7, and it's forecast snow overnight. I'm looking forward to some warmer weather now. I've had enough of the cold weather. Hey, sweet pea. I've had enough of the cold weather now. Well, there was no more coyotes howling last night. Lovely and peaceful, but this is what we've woken up to. Snow again, so we're still not out at the high altitude yet, but we will do today. Look, there's blue sky. In fact, today is actually a bit of a mission because we've got about 5% propane LPG left. We've got no water, got a documentation to do, got a windscreen to fix. We do need to find a laundrette. Plus we need to drive on. I'm sure there's something else I'm forgetting. I know there is, but I can't think what it is. Cool, thanks.
Hello.
Oh my word!
It's so cold. We've got so much to sort out before we head into Mexico in less than a week now.
Just seen a snow plough go past, so now's the best time to go because it's been gritted and ploughed.
Well, this is it. We are officially leaving New Mexico. We are about to cross the Arizona border.
Oh, we are, cool.
Yeah, we have loved this state. It's been our favourite so far. We have had such an amazing few weeks here. There is so much that we haven't seen. Like, we haven't even scratched the surface, like the whole of the north. We didn't get a chance to see, partly because of the weather and everything, but would love to come back here. And if you are road tripping through the States, put New Mexico on your list, you will not regret it. It's got the most epic landscapes and just no one else here. It's so quiet. Absolutely loved it. Oh, we just crossed into Arizona. Welcome to Arizona.
Arizona.
Welcome to Arizona. This is probably some of the worst driving conditions that we've had so far. It's very snowy, but we've also climbed into like this really thick low cloud, so our visibility isn't great. The road is like sludgy and icy. It's actually really bright, so we're kind of like squinting. Ben's driving with his sunglasses on, and yeah, it's some sort of like, we've like driven into the snowstorm. Yeah, it's not the nicest to drive in.
This road has only just been ploughed, and now look how covered over it is already. Literally getting just worse and worse.
It's starting to freeze on the windscreen now, which is making it quite difficult to see out. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's happened on Ben's side is the snow has got caught under his windscreen wiper because of the way that it's blowing in, and it's actually iced. So the ice is just smearing more ice all over his side of the windscreen, but for some reason mine is completely clear. Well, I've just had an alert on my phone saying winter storm warning for Arizona. So that'll explain
what we've just
driven through. But now you can see some blue skies. Someone absolutely loves to watch the LPG get filled up every time.
That was literally the most easiest propane fill up we've had to date. She was lovely. She's like, need a refill? I was like, yeah, come on then. This snow is only from this morning.
Really?
Yeah, and she said, are you here for long, passing through? I said, we're passing through, heading to California to see my brother. And she said, well, if you're heading that way, you need to be careful between Herbert and Peso. When there's snow, they close the road, so we need to work Globe. She said, if you go through Globe, it's a better drive, like it won't be closed. So that's what we need to. We need to head to Globe. But she was lovely.
Yeah.
$7.80.
Seriously?
Yeah. Look. That.
Oh my god. Is that, you just broke my that's just from that drive?
That's just from that drive.
Oh my god, look at that slush everywhere.
The whole bottom of the van is covered in snow. So let's fill out the multiple immigration form, the FMF. Monday the 23rd.
Yeah.
Yep. And we need to give a departure date. That was not easy.
That's taken us about an hour to fill out. So we've done the immigration form for Mexico. It's, you know, like when you're on a plane and the air stewardesses bring around like a form for you to fill out. It's basically that. You can do it at the border, but it's meant to just like speed things up. So we paid for it now, we've got it now, so we can just give it to them. But it is, I was happy to do it at the border. This one wanted to do it beforehand.
It just means that when we get to the border, the only things we need to worry about is the TIP, temporary import permit, and just the dog passports. Like, we've got all our stuff sorted now.
Yeah, no, it's better, but it is a bit of a faff. And I think the snowstorm that we were escaping this morning has caught up with us. The woman at the propane place said they're due a massive dump of snow later, so we need to start heading out of this again. This is not how I expected our last week of USA van life to go, getting chased out by winter blizzards and snowstorms.
Holy shit, it just completely opened up. And what a change of landscape. Oh, that is amazing. Look at that. Holy shit. That's amazing. Look at that.
This drive is spectacular. We are just driving through the most like dramatic, incredible canyons. It's incredible. I just thought we were going to an auto zone to escape the snow. I didn't expect to be on one of the most dramatic, spectacular drives we've ever done.
So you can see how the road just carves up the side of the mountain.
Wow, I can see the rain coming in.
How's that? Let's see if we can beat it, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, Joy. We've come down into another incredible canyon. This drive today has been absolutely phenomenal. Oh, look at it, it just opens up into that open space.
We're off to get to a campsite and whoa, look how churned up that. Look how churned up
Shit,
that.
no. Right. I could just feel the wheels spinning. I think, why are they spinning? And then I looked, I just see we were digging it out. It's soft enough to go on it, but if you stop, then you're stuck.
I reckon around here would be alright. So quite soft coming in here, look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at this campsite. First camp in Arizona. Good morning. Had a fairly peaceful night here last night. Scenery wise, this park up is absolutely incredible, surrounded by mountains. We've also seen cacti for the first time, which we're so excited about. There's the huge, like, I don't know, 10, 12 foot cacti on the hill opposite. They look awesome. There's so many cacti around here. But there is also a lot of rubbish or trash. There is so much broken glass here. We're having to be really careful with the dogs. It's something that we must have like taken for granted in New Mexico because we didn't even realise. But like every park up we went to was spotlessly clean. It was very quiet and it was just, yeah, there was no rubbish anywhere. But yeah, all along here and along the road is just broken glass everywhere. And then at 2:30, we were woken up by the sound of gunshots somewhere around here. It wasn't super far away and it wasn't a shotgun. I don't know what somebody's doing at 2 o'clock in the morning in the pitch black shooting. It definitely, yeah, it wasn't the most like the nicest thing to wake up to. Did go back to sleep and everything was fine, but yeah, it doesn't feel as kind of remote and isolated as we felt in New Mexico. And there was like ATVs and buggies going up here last night, but scenery wise, can't really top this. It's beautiful.
Well guys, we can't hang around because Mexico is calling.
Mwah. What an introduction to Arizona. We can't wait to explore here when we start our journey to Alaska in the spring. But for now, we're Baja bound, baby. Next week we'll be in Mexico. See you next Sunday.
I wanna call out my time.